Evening, guys. So, I know this is possibly, if you're looking at getting started in rent to rent, possibly what is running through most of your minds right now is your area. Does it work? Saturation levels. Is it too late for you to start in rent to rent? Right? So, I just jumped off the weekly Zoom with my students and I was just running through how my journey started and how I was messaging landlords on Gumtree. And the types of properties you need to look for does not need to tick all the boxes. There was one property I messaged and basically it had no pictures. It was a 2-bed with sea views. And I messaged the landlord, got a viewing, met him in person, went to view the property, and it was horrendous. The property needed a massive refurbishment. It did not have sea views. It was absolutely terrible. Then I kind of felt a bit missold to, like, we put all this effort in and started to doubt that it would happen. But then it turned out the landlord was a massive property investor, multi-millionaire, very wealthy guy. And the mobile number that was on the advert was not meant to be his, it was meant to be his receptionist's. So, yeah, and he said, okay, well, if this one doesn't tick the boxes, then I've got plenty other properties. I've got 3 properties recently refurbished just round the corner. So went round the corner, literally round the corner, viewed the 3 properties, and I took on 2 of them straight away. Deal done. So the point is, the properties you see online don't have to tick all of your boxes. They should just be an excuse to call the agent or landlord to build that connection, right? Yes, they should still tick some boxes like size, location, but just get on the phone, build that relationship. Don't focus too much on everything being perfect, because that's not how it happens 60-70% of the time. My students get deals from building relationships and then they send them the properties that are suitable for company let. But you only get to that point when you found a random property on Rightmove and you call the agent or landlord. That's how it's done. Building relationships, being present, being in the marketplace, not by spending hours on Rightmove. Oh, that one looks nice. Oh, that's nice. I can make that look like this. It's like that property is very unlikely going to be the one you would get when you call the agent. Then they're very unlikely going to say that's suitable for rent to rent or suitable for company let. But they may have others. They may have other landlords that are open to company lets, or they're open to company let. They're just nothing's on their books right now. So you need to get on their books. You need that conversation going and follow up every 3 weeks, regardless of what you've got going on in your life. That's how relationships are done. Is the market saturated? Absolutely not. Just at the weekend, we had 2 students on Saturday secure deals. Beulah secured her first rent HMO. No, correct that. Serviced accommodation. Right? So she's brand new. She's just secured a deal. Adam's just taken on 5 HMOs in the last 2 months. He's selling 2 of the deals. Yeah, that's what we got going on. Ryan just secured another deal on Saturday as well. Another serviced accommodation. So these deals are happening all the time. Dan, the rent-to-rent HMO coach, and James, they're doing deals all the time. Sam and Zach are collecting keys. Like, there's deals going on all of the time. The market is definitely not saturated. The people that say or think that it's saturated are either just starting or at the point of potentially starting, and they're watching everything going on online thinking it's too late for them to start. It's not the case, guys. You've just got to start. You just got to take massive action. Kyle, I've just jumped off of the phone, off of a Zoom with 20-year-old Kyle, taking massive action. He's met a landlord who has sent him a 6-bed HMO, which stacks. We've just stacked it. I just told him, like, yeah, that works. Call the agent tomorrow. Get this deal done. He's 20. He's taking massive action. An amazing chap. He's going to be very successful. So tomorrow could be potentially his first deal, or this week. So no, it's not saturated. There's always an ongoing supply of new landlords coming to the market, or they're struggling, or they've had recent bad experience with an estate agent. They're not perfect. They're definitely not perfect. From my experience working with estate agents, a lot of them don't really understand how it works with company lets. So, yeah, just got to take massive action. All right, I've lost my train of thought. It's 10:10. All of you guys might be in bed. I'm not. I've just jumped off the student Zoom. So, yeah, if my students can do it, all right, just come up with a plan, work out your goals. What do you want to do? Which direction and research do you need to do to start? Then just start. Don't let this put you off. Follow with this at the start and just go with it. Because I'll tell you what my thinking was when I was brand new. I signed up to a 3-month mentorship, which was over in no time. But my thought process was I'm going to give it absolutely 100% for those 3 months. And if I don't secure a deal by the end of those 3 months, I will either be 100% sold on it, that it works anyway, so I'll continue by myself, or I'll look to buy a deal, or just keep building relationships. I'll be that sold on it that I wouldn't quit. And that's the case. Like, if you're taking action, it's not about, oh, I haven't got my first deal and it's been 3 months. It's like, you should be sold on it, because people join after you and get deals before you, but you're still taking massive action. So the whole process around rent to rent is not just getting your first deal within a time frame of the mentorship, right? That's not the case. It's never quit. No matter what, you should be so sold on this. Like, yeah, it's just process. It's just a matter of time for me. I got to keep nurturing the relationships with agents and landlords, keep following up. Time of year comes into play. You know, HMO market is very live from now till kind of mid-September, October, and then it quietens down. Serviced accommodation varies drastically between landlords and agents. It's no pattern. The only pattern with SA is potentially low season if you're just relying on Airbnb and Booking.com. I can ramble on for ages about this, but the whole point of this Zoom is to start. Don't perfect. Just, do you want to do this? What's your goals? Does it align with your budget? Start. Rent to rent is, I should be the first rung on the property ladder. Not buying your own first house. Starting rent to rent business, because it's the lowest form of investment and a brilliant return on cash flow. Like, each property, you know, roughly 700 to 1500, depending on which strategy, per month profit. Then get your cash flow in a position where you can invest into other things, like maybe even buying your first house. The whole UK agenda around you're successful when you buy your first house is so messed up. That is herd mentality at its finest. Buying your first house is by far not the first step of becoming successful. It's like you're trapping yourself. It should be build assets that are going to make you financially free. Not be tied to a job and paying a mortgage and then struggle to save to invest. It should be invest first. And this is what Kyle is doing. His mum and dad are investors, they're property investors, and it's worn off on him. He's 20 years old, and he started a rent-to-rent business. Congratulations, Kyle. He's going to learn so much in the process. That's what you all need to do. Write down your goals. Come up with an actual plan. How are you going to do it? Then say to yourself, right, I'm going to do that, and I'm never going to quit. That's it. Never quit. I'll leave you on this, and then I'll call it a night. When I started, it was an 8-year become financially free plan. 8 years. Most of you guys online are like saying to yourself 6 months, because there's many gurus online portraying that this is very easy and you can just rent that house and chuck it on Airbnb and make $2,000. This is put massive effort in and massive reward comes back out. It's not, speak to one landlord, deal done. So ignore the gurus, switch off the silence, switch off all distractions, take huge action, become financially free in a time frame that you're happy with. Mine was 8 years. I started at the age of 32. I said to myself, as long as I'm financially free by the age of 40, and I quit my job at the age of 40, 8 years, guys, 8 freaking years, then I've bought back 27 years on the average man that retires or works to the age of 67. That's still 27 years. That's a good return on investment. That's what I was saying to myself. And a lot of people just say to themselves like, yeah, in 4 months, if I haven't got my first deal, then yeah, I'll quit. And what's wrong with people? It's social media and distractions and dopamine. Everybody's looking for quick wins, a quick feel good. It's like, just get your discipline hat on. This is why I introduced a mindset coach to the mentees as well. It's like really instill discipline into them and switch your mindset. Long games, bigger picture, goals, take massive action. Energy out, energy in. That's it. All right, good night.